Welcome back to Writing in the Raw. We are going to do episode 5 right now. Am I ready for this episode? Yes. Should you be ready? Yes. Buckle up. We're doing it. Totally lied. I'm not ready at all. I'm on the struggle bus right now. I don't know what this episode's going to look like, but I thought I'd bring you along for the struggle because I'm having one of these moments where it's just like, and I'm just stuck. Found this quote. I kind of want to weave this into it. I want to have a quote. I want to have a cool video that I found this week online that's completely unrelated to anything, because I think in the marvelous, amazing, wonderful world of ADHD, everything's related to everything, and yet everything seems so abstract sometimes. So I do want to try and do that. I don't have a video ready for you, but I want to do that in the future. Just like link something out. I might link it in the description. I'll link something in the description. I'll find something. I got things. Ooh, I got things. So buckle up for that. Check the description for that. Here's a quote. I want to start with quotes. I've got my little quote tab here. Last time's quote was, "Anger is the passion that pulls us." And this week's quote is, "The fight is from Muhammed Ali," which is absolutely amazing. "The fight is won or lost far away from the witnesses, behind the lines, in the gym, and out there on the road, long before I dance under those lights." I've often heard that integrity, the definition of integrity, is what you do when no one's looking. That really stuck with me. I had a father who was really fond of saying that, and I find it to be a truism, which is kind of a bummer because I feel like I don't have, there are certain areas in my life that I don't have integrity in, that I shield, that I hide from other people. But anyway, this is about writing. The fight is won or lost far from the witnesses. It's won or lost way before someone reads your work in progress, way before you're putting the finishing touches on something. It's in the slog. It's in the day-to-day. And for me, that's on the struggle bus right now. So I'm going to go on summary for a child because I think there's a clue to what I need to be working on in here. So we have the arc of Hannah is trust, right? This is the theme that I want in her story. I want her to mistrust and then to learn trust at the end. And I think particularly when she's interacting with Paz, who, as you remember before, is this fox modeled very much after either a Shakespearean figure or a Cyrano de Bergerac main character. Very pontificating and poetic, and uses a different type of speech. I think the way that she interacts with Paz is going to reinforce mistrust. She has mistrust from her father. We're going to get into that a little bit. Not tonight, but we're going to get into that. There are some core memories that I've written out for her. Remember, I've been doing this for 8 years, so I've had a lot of time to spend with these characters, and I think that's my ace in the hole, and it's also my handcuffs. So I feel like I'd be able to write a little bit more freely had I spent less time with these characters, and I feel like I can bring depth to things because I've spent so long with these characters. So, if I double click this, what does this do? What's that? Oh, I'm huge. Hello, world. Look at that. I didn't know I could do that. So now I can just talk to you like this and you don't even have to read anything. Look at that. I don't know if I like this. I can see myself, and that's always fun. So her arc is trust and mistrust, right? Moving from a position of mistrust to trust. And the one that I want to pull her out of that with is the character so previously known as Seth. So I know vaguely how I want to do that. This is all book 2 stuff because Seth doesn't really do the character who was previously known as Seth doesn't really do much until book 1 is packed for him. He's got a lot going on. I got to get him from his little desert tribe out into Hannah's world somehow, and I know how. That book actually is pretty solid. That arc is very solid in my mind. Here's where I'm struggling. So, like, if you look at Seth, his arc is strength and faith. He's moving from weakness to strength, and it's not strength in himself, although it is. He's figuring out how to trust himself, but also trust the one who protects him and is with him the entire way. And there's going to be a lot of things just like in real life where you look back and you're like, was that really, did I make that up or did that really happen? And I think I want that for Seth. So, but I also want him to pull Hannah away from, I want him to be the solid dude in her life that actually shows up, makes promises, keeps the promises, and can help pull her from mistrust to trust. That's part of his purpose in this story. And he really wants that. He desires that. He's going from heartbreak to being thrust in this big giant mess, and all he can do is what he's been trained to do, and he's been trained to be a warrior. He's a warrior in training. He encounters strange creatures. The Hounds of Athak have a way of creating creatures, and I haven't quite figured this out yet. It's very much like how are they going to do this? Like, are they going to do certain stones have the power? Maybe I've thought about this already. Do certain stones have the power? Characters, Hounds of Athak, summary for a child. Characters, where is it? Where is it? Characters? No. I love names, by the way, in case you didn't. Okay, so here's a great example. I'm going to total tangent, okay? This is where you should, if you're wondering as an author, like, where should I use an LLM, an AI, or whatever, I took a story, or I took a picture of this page, these pages, right? And it's just written down in my notebook. I'm looking at my notebook. Please be the right one. Okay, so like here, you have Seth names, right? Hold on. I learned how to do this. Let's go. So they're just all these names. I just took a picture of that, and then I spit it into GPT, and I was like, hey, bro, make me a table. And it totally did. So that type of thing, using it as a beefed up scanner, it's a great use of your time because you're getting more time. You're not using it to think for you, but you're gaining time. You're gaining ability. If your penmanship sucks or whatever, I might not be able to do that. Mine's not the best, but it still picked it up. So there's my 2 cents on that. I forgot about little Maawk Messenger. He's just a little baby bird. He's a little chickadee. He's cute. And he helps Hannah. He's one of Hannah's friends, helpers. So I am on the struggle bus. I'm trying to figure out robot short story. That doesn't belong there. Might finish that one of these years. Probably not, though. Free write doesn't belong there. All right, I'm going to have to drop you over there. So now you're taken care of. Yeah. Okay. My free writing. We don't even want to go into my free writing because it's. I mean, we could go into my free writing and we could free write for a little bit. I think we might need to do that sometime and really unpack the brain. Summary for a child. We're focusing. I don't know what I'm doing with Hannah here. Okay, so I have this idea that there are these stones, correct? And they are left. There's the stones. Why are they there? What the hecking heck? Okay, so we have types of stones. We have the 6 days of creation, right? Light, sky, desert, stars, sea and air creatures, land animals. I think the hounds have this stone. And I have this idea because in life, right, if you have a personality trait, there is a positive and a negative side of these traits, right? If you have anger, it can move you towards, it means you care, right? There's a very positive side of anger, but then there's also this very, very toxic, destructive side, and I call it the evil side of each character trait. Like if you like to work, if you have a strong work ethic, the positive is you get up in the morning, you attack, you do all these things. The negative is you might not know how to rest, right? And these are important things. And so I think these stones are going to have two uses that you can use them for two different things. One is for good and one is for evil, because I believe that's the way the world works. That's the way God set up the world. If the lights are flickering, it's because we've got a bomb cyclone. Yep, there's another flicker. We got a bomb cyclone just crashing into the coast now, so we'll see how far I get on this before we lose power. Maybe we won't. We're really close to a thing, and we're only supposed to have like 40-ish, 45-ish mile per hour winds here. But if you're on the coast, batten down the hatches. So here we go. Types of stone. So we have light. It gives life and light. Evil is darkness. It takes light from things, which is kind of funny because if you're a fan of Harry Potter, that's kind of the way you're introduced to Dumbledore, in this like winking out the lights with his little lighter thing. If you've seen the movies, they do a really good job visualizing that, just sucking these little light things back in. But what I mean by that is to like bring darkness to a space, which is a really interesting thought for me because light always trumps darkness. There's never a time where darkness suffocates or surrounds light and like snuffs it out. Like as long as you have light, it cuts, right? It pierces, it's pure, it's beautiful. And so I have this thought of this light stone being used for light. Again, Lord of the Rings, if you want to think about that, where he has what does Galadriel give him? Like the star or something? Whatever. Anyway, and he uses it. Sam uses it to fight the spider, and Frodo uses it to fight the spider. Basically, a jar of water, a crystal jar of water. So I mean, I like that. It's a beautiful thing. I think cinematically. I think visually. And so I like that. The sky over here, El Rogel has this stone. El Rogel is a giant snake that Seth, who's no longer called Seth, fights at the end of book 1. That's why his arc is so tight, because he fights the snake and doesn't do well against the snake. I'm okay with not having my characters as heroes, but also, you cheering for them as they muddle their way through. And he kicks butt. Like, what am I saying? He kicks butt. He gets really hurt. It is one of those magical, like, there's a reason why in a lot of films and movies they have like magical healing things, and then they magically get healed from these things. I thought he died. Like, if you ever want something really funny, go watch Pitch Meeting on, that's what I'll post. I'll post a pitch meeting. I'll post a pitch meeting, in the description of this video, so you can see what I'm talking about. And it talks about like, it must be really hard he's always saying like, it must be really hard to get out of that situation. It's like, it's super easy, barely an inconvenience. And that's kind of what I feel when you hurt characters and have them magically better. I'm trying not to do that with Seth. And I'm also trying not to have a 30-page training montage with, healing and stuff. Anyway, I digress. I'm enjoying going back and thinking about, I genuinely haven't thought about this story at the end of the story or anything like this. These characters, for 2 years, I've really, really pushed it to the back of my mind. I got a new job 2 years ago. I really wanted to focus. I really wanted to buckle down on that and really put this creative slice of my mind to rest for a little bit. And recently I've genuinely begun seeing these characters come up in day-to-day life, and things are reminding me of them, and I have to finish it. So we have these stones here. This is the key to the plot. The hounds have this stone. I think the hounds have 2 stones. I think if you get all the stones together, something crazy happens. You don't get to snap your finger. Whoa, hello there. You don't get to snap your fingers and destroy half the population, a la Thanos. But something's going to happen. I think there might be a rumor that you control life and death, because isn't that the thing we all want? Like, we want to control life and death. We want to live forever, and we want to bring the people who have died back to life. I know I do. It would be amazing to hang out with my grandparents again. That would be awesome. So, and maybe that's the thing, and it's it's unobtainium. I don't know. I think I still got to work on that. Elements are the first 4 stones. Life are the last 2 stones, right? Like the land animals. This is kind of a life thing. Create monsters from the dead carcasses of animals. I think that's cool. I think that's really cool. I think that might mess with... I don't think this works, though, because it's too much like a life stone. So this doesn't work. So I'm going to say no. No to this. I'll put myself a little emoji there so I know that it's not good. So I can think about that later. Here's what we got. I need to organize this. Okay. So there is such a thing called a seeker of the stones, and I think that's how the hounds are finding the stones. I genuinely do. I think they need to seek them, because otherwise, how the heck are you going to know where they are? You're just going to stumble on them. Like, one day you're digging a hole and you're like, oh, this looks like the stone of life, and then you like grab it and you figure out how to use it. I don't know how they use it yet. I'm still working all of that out. I'm not... that's a whole separate thing. You have ideas about that, you put those in the comments for me, because we're going to get there. I'm going to need them. So we have the Hannah's Arc, which I get. We're going to flesh this out a little bit more. Move from mistrust to trust. That's all we got. That's what we're doing. It's a simple story. Keep it simple. Come on. Keep it simple. And then she becomes a seeker when... Oh, hello there. Wait. What did I do? Oh, I clicked that. Oh, I know how to Notion. Okay, so she becomes a seeker when the seeker of the ship dies, and she can't go near Jerusha without having something, feeling something, hearing something, and feeling icky, and vomits. I want the seeker to be in physical pain as they're seeking the stones or in proximity to the stones. I think it's a good trump card to not make our seekers too powerful, and I think the hounds are going to delight in causing pain to a seeker and watching them. And there could be scenes where Hannah has to pretend like she's not in pain when they're close to a stone. If she's captured, when she's captured, she's going to get captured. She's got to get captured. She's just a little fox in a big world. She's going to get captured. It's going to happen. You have to write your characters into corners and watch them wiggle out and see what they do. You have to. Jerusha, I don't know if I'm going to unpack that right now. Just know that she's in the town. She has the stone, and she the stone in Whitewall, the star. She has the star stone, and she can control minds on a limited scale. She can control minds, and I think a good use of this would be like memory or sharing memories. Again, not a unique thought, right? If you think about Harry Potter, he had the little Dumbledore is always pulling memories out and throwing them in that little soup thing with the jellies that looked kind of delicious in a weird way. Don't judge me. So anyway, it's not a unique thought, but to be able to share a memory with someone would be really, really beneficial, I think, and it would cause some really cool scenes in there, because there's some powerful memories floating around. So I like all that. Jerusha has the stone. She's using it for mind control. She is she's the high priestess in Whitewall. and she's doing great. And then all heck breaks loose in that town. So, visits mom's grave. I don't know, like maybe, I don't know. Shrug emoji on that. Visits mom graves. Mom dies when she's 4. I think that's right. It's either 4 or 6. I don't know how old Hannah's gonna, like, Hannah's like 14, 16, somewhere in there. I don't want to make her too old, because then there's this like old stigma of like, you need to be married, like at that time period. I'm trying to base it in the Middle Ages. And I don't want to make her too young, because she's going to be dealing with some big things. And I do really want there to be some really cool romance in it. So we're in YA fiction, and we have to stick in that lane, because otherwise it's just not going to be able to sell. And I don't want to go back and rewrite this again. So we're going to stick in YA, and I want to write YA. So it's not, I thought about Spy Finds a Stone. Oh, I get what I'm saying there. Command Shift X. If you don't know that trick, Command Shift X will strike through. So you can highlight a bunch of things, Command Shift X, and it'll, or Control Shift X, whatever, and it'll strike through stuff. That might help you in your work in progress. You don't have to delete stuff. You can just strike through it and keep it for a little bit. And then the Spy Finds the Stone, tells the hounds, and then they come. Or conversely, the Seeker. No, I want that. They come with this, and the hounds come. They come with a Seeker. I think the hounds are going to come to Whitewall with a Seeker, so they can pinpoint the stone, and then there's going to be discrepancy of how to get the stone out, and that's when Belzarbi, our main villain, the White Lion, and Belzarbi serves the White Lion. I think Belzarbi is going to get ignored by one of the other hounds, a holy hound. Is what I call him, and it's a good chapter. I think that one's pretty well tied in. I don't know where this is. Let's go to recents, Fox Chronicles and Pages. Let's highlight this. Belzarbi, find me Belzarbi. Yeah, all right. Let's do this. I don't like Pages, so this is Belzarbi. Oh, that's Ruta. 5, Chosen Fox. Yes, I will end you. So let's go Fox Chronicles, book 1. Let's add another. That was dumb. Do you even notion, bro? You just go boop, boop, and now we're at the bottom. And here we go. Let's drop this in right here. Let's do H1. Oh, sorry, toggle heading H1. Orders, Belzarbi. So let's go Belzarbi, C1. So this one is orders. And I do want to read just a tiny bit of this, because I adore Belzarbi. I think he's amazing. The hound smiled as the life drained from his victim's face. Belzarbi loved that moment. It was pure power. He was alive, and in a few black seconds the fox wouldn't be. His will, the will of the hounds, had triumphed again. The fox clawed pitifully at the hound's iron-like forearm. His eyes bulged with pressure and terror as his world was swallowed by darkness. General Belzarbi hated how the fox smelled. He hated the smell of all foxes, but this filthy beach dweller reeked of the fish he'd spent his pointless days catching and gutting, catching and gutting. Now the general was the one doing the catching and the gutting. The fox flailed at the hound's arm one final time, but it was over. The fox's hands fell to his sides, limp as moist seaweed. With relish, the general tossed the fox's body onto a nearby fire. The body joined what had recently been its home, a poor fisher's hut, built by the same hands that hadn't been strong enough to overcome the will of the black hounds. Belzarbi scanned the pebbled beach for his next victim. Around him, bonfires belched black smoke into the already fog-filled sky. Bits of houses, if you could have even called them that, collapsed in towers of tangled flames. Embers jumped into the foggy air, jostling each other to escape the madness. YA, we're not doing a middle grade with this one. We're choking people. We're getting it done. I'm going to stop there. I'm already 25 minutes in. I feel like my last one was super long. So thank you so much for coming along with me. Belzarbi's amazing. I might continue with Belzarbi. I'm so entranced with Belzarbi and who used to be Seth, who's now called... I did not put that in the toggle. I didn't put it in the toggle. Scrolling up, grabbing this. Oh, you punk. That's not fun. I might do this again. Who knows? And then you grab it and you put it in there. Boink. And then you go boink. His name is... I don't say Kelhoya. Kelhoya is... remember, Hoya means small. Kelhoya, small hawk is what it is. Then we're in the desert over here, and the desert is really good. Belzarbi plays in this. Maybe reading Belzarbi will help me figure out what to do with Hannah, because Belzarbi is hunting Hannah, and Hannah cannot be smarter than Belzarbi. She can be luckier than Belzarbi, but she cannot be smarter than Belzarbi. She cannot be stronger than Belzarbi. He's a trained killer. That's all he's done. He's older. He's like in his 50s, and he's a general who's wizened and has lost much, and has made others lose much. And he's the one after Hannah. And his arc is an arc of destruction, and it's an arc of pain, and it's an arc of redemption. And I'm stoked about that. I'm stoked about the redemption arc about that, and I really want to get to that. All right, I'm 27 minutes in. I'm out of here. I'll see you all next time. Right in the raw. Put pants on.